Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
And happy Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. Happy day after Christmas episode of Primetime Live with Philly Pete. I am your host, the one, the only Philly Pete, and we're here live on YouTube and, of course, the 24/7 12 Ounce Sports streaming platform. Come on in, check us out. Let's rock and roll. Subscribe to 12 Ounce Sports and give us a thumbs up. The chat's open. Let's rock and roll. Not much going on. Actually, there's no NHL games here tonight. So, we got tomorrow, full slate of action tomorrow as everyone's back on the ice for the most part. We got some solid games on a Friday night. So we'll get that rock and roll. I'll give you guys a little bit of a, heads up on, what to look out for tomorrow. And then tomorrow we'll get the full force when we get back into the NHL season and, back to the research, back to the stats, back to what we like, what the trends are at. Monday night, or I should say, Monday was treated us very good on Monday. We had a nice afternoon hit between Toronto and Winnipeg. We had a nice, over goals there. We hit that. We had a nice 3-unit winner with the Flyers Penguins over 6. Then the first period over. 1.5 goals that cashed out as well. That was also a free bet for everybody that tuned into the show for 1.5 units. So congratulations to everybody. That's some good money. We had a good night. I saw a bunch of you sign up through Dub Club through me, so that was also pretty cool after last the other night. So very cool. Discount still out there, obviously, but also make sure you hit up the YouTube subscription for 12 Ounce Sports. We have cappers. We have more than just one guy. Okay. We have a bunch of cappers. Check us out. $6 for the month, $60 for a year. I'll talk about it more in the second half of the show. I hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. And to those that celebrate Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, happy holidays to everybody. Hopefully everyone had or is having a wonderful time with your family, friends. Obviously, drink responsibly, be responsible, take an Uber, take a Lyft, have a designated driver if you're out with friends. But, I hope everyone had a phenomenal holiday so far, whatever you celebrate. Christmas was great yesterday. Get up, nothing like getting up at, 6:45, 7 o'clock in the morning with your 3-year-old and waking you and your wife up. Just to get up. It's Christmas, and it was great. Such a great feeling. Nothing like seeing that smile on that kid, and 3 hours worth of opening gifts. I love her, but the taking the time of basically unwrapping gifts. It's just every kid's dream, taking their time, but it was fun. It was fun. Parents were over, in-laws were over to watch her open gifts. It's just a tradition since she was born for the last, this is technically her fourth Christmas now. So it's been nice. It's been really, really nice. So, but I hope everyone had fun, had a great time, friends, family, and here we are. We're back. Had a 2-day off. Christmas Eve being off, and last night no show. So tonight, here we are. We're back. I'll be back tomorrow as well. Let's kick off the show, shall we? All right. So, like I said, NHL. We'll run some NHL down tomorrow. For the most part, we'll get that rolling. But I'll go through the lineup for tomorrow as well. But currently, we have a couple college football games going on right now. Rutgers leads Kansas State 7-3 right now. Rutgers +7 I thought was a solid play in my opinion. So I thought that was a pretty good spot there for Rutgers. I thought it was too much for Kansas State. It's still an early game, but we will see what happens there for sure. Deshaun Jackson, Delaware State University. I mean, I'm loving this. I love to see not only Eagles that between Deshaun Jackson and Michael Vick. Obviously, Michael Vick going to Norfolk State for football, and Deshaun Jackson going to Delaware State. I'd love to see this. And we grew up. My era, I grew up watching Mike Vick at Virginia Tech, Deshaun Jackson at Cal, and obviously, throughout their career with Vick at Atlanta and Philly. I mean, it was awesome, and of course, Deshaun Jackson with the Eagles, and then of course his short tenure in Tampa. It's nice to see this. It's really cool to see, players that you watch throughout college and NFL, their whole entire career, basically growing up with them, now doing some head coaching duties. I love to see it. Jimmy Butler, per Pat Riley, says that he's not being traded. Bridgewater heading to the Lions. That's pretty cool. Good to see. Seahawks placing Kenneth Walker on IR. That's a big deal for Seattle. They're fighting in that division. That division, the NFC West, is very, very tight. Cardinals lost their shot. They're on the outside chance now, but they think they blew it. You got the Rams and Seattle fighting for it. Really, it's a tight race. It really is a tight race. Jim Lurianga steps down in his 14th season at Miami. Had an incredible run, great journey that he had, and taking the team to the Final Four a couple of years ago. But it's just been a thing. It's been a decline for Miami basketball. It has been as of late. So it's just very unfortunate. But he had a great career at the main helm for the Hurricanes. Cowboys shutting down CeeDee Lamb for the rest of the year. They opt to do that. It makes a lot of sense. Why? There's no point. Cowboys are done. They have nothing to fight for. Shut down your best player. All right. Have him arrested. Come back next season. Cowboys will cowboy. They should have, they should have Dak back next year. You have Lamb. When it comes to running back wise, you have to imagine that they're going to draft somebody. And I've been saying this, and I feel as though, Gene T from Boise State has to be on their radar as the future for Dallas. Really. Just something that I feel like I've been eyeing up for a while. And then obviously when we get closer to draft season, and that's obviously in April, but after March Madness, you get ready for the NFL draft, and I feel like I start looking at this, I look at research, I see where it goes where, but I personally do feel like G&T is a great spot for Dallas as a future draft pick and a future running back for the Dallas Cowboys. He could be pretty dangerous as well on top of that, so we'll see what happens there. Wolverine star defensive lineman Grant entering the NFL draft. Big play guy right there too. So, a lot of stuff going on. And like I mentioned, Rutgers are up 7-3. Rutgers is a 7-point favor. You have Pittsburgh and Toledo currently in a double overtime game right now. 37-37, Pitt Toledo. What a game. That's the thing about these bowl games. Like these players don't want football season to end. They don't. Of course, they want to win, but they want to keep playing. It's just how it is, especially those seniors. Especially seniors and juniors that are likely, going to go pro. But very, very interesting. And then you have a nightcap tonight: Arkansas State Bowling Green at 9:00. So, bowl season is in full effect. It is, and of course, next week we have the New Year's Eve Penn State Boise State game, and of course, New Year's Day, you have the remaining 3 games for the college football playoff. On that note, tonight we have the NFL. Okay, what a game! What a game do we have? Seattle, Chicago. Couldn't ask for much more of a Thursday night football game. Over under set at 41.5, and Seattle is favored is -5 tonight. All right, Chicago's home, but this is a big game for the Seahawks. And to be honest, like Seattle is 5-1 away this season, so that's actually pretty good numbers there for them for sure. But yeah, that now I've seen it. Now it's at 4.5, so it's back and forth, 4.5, 5. Depends where you shop around. But this could be a game where this is a must-win for Seattle. If Seattle loses, it's not going to look good. It's not going to look good at all for them. So I feel as though this is a spot for Seattle. I'm not sure if they're going to cover. I really don't know if they're going to cover this game, but I do feel like they're going to win it. I feel like they're going to win this game. It's going to be close, probably a lot closer than what people think, to be honest with you. So I mean, it opened up at 3.5. It's now at 5, 4.5, 5. So obviously the money is on Seattle. If I had to make a play here tonight, I would roll with Seattle. That -4, -4.5 spot, just because they need a win. Chicago's out of contention. They're not really fighting for anything. They're not. So my money would be on Seattle here tonight with the points. But my main play in this game is the over 41.5. I love this spot here tonight. I think we're going to see a lot of points. I locked it in at 41.5 the other day. It's likely up to 42, maybe 42.5. You could probably get 42 at -120, but the -41.5 is still out there. So, I mean, get 6 touchdowns, you cash it out, no problem. You have to worry about, of course, we have to worry about the extra points, but, that's all we need at the end of the day. But I like this. I really do. You can also look at, a lot of people are looking after that Chicago Bears head coaching job as well. Pete Carroll, maybe he's going to bring his USC-ness to Chicago to be with Caleb Williams, who was also a USC guy. So that'd be cool. A little bit of USC reunion there for sure. But the Bears have outscored 60. They have been outscored 64-14 the first half across the 3 losses via Thomas Brown as the interim coach. They've been getting destroyed. Chicago, they moved the ball up and down for the most part last week versus the Lions. Even though the Lions defense still isn't great in my opinion, and they almost got nearly 400 yards with Caleb Williams passing for basically 335 yards yesterday. Desperate times for Seattle, like I said, playoff situation, no Kenny Walker tonight, but they got to win this game. Big win, and they need the Rams to lose on Saturday versus the Cardinals. Basically if they win, they'll be all right. Okay. But they need to win and they need the Rams to lose. Otherwise, if the Cardinals take care of business against the Rams, Seahawks are out. All right. No Kenny Walker. I see a bunch of Zach Charbonnet tonight as well. I love him, man. I do like Zach Charbonnet. You go from a Michigan product to UCLA. You come to Seattle to basically be a great backup to Kenneth Walker. I mean, and those Seattle Seahawks fans remember a great running back in the day, early 2000s, looking around like that 2001 through like 2009 era, 2008, Sean Alexander. Does that ring a bell to anybody? For some reason, he looks like he doesn't look like him, but he has that build, I think, that Sean Alexander had as well. Could be the future for Seattle, Charbonnet. He can do it. He can absolutely do it. So we'll see what happens there. But the last 4 Seattle games, they've all cleared the 42.5 mark. Easy. The last 4 games for Seattle have gone over. And I want to take the over here tonight. I want to put a full unit down on this over for sure. So let's go. Chicago Bears, Seattle Seahawks, full game over 41.5. That's what I have. Okay, and I got that at minus 110. I got it even money. So shop around for your best price. This was from a local bookie. FanDuel is showing 42. You can get 41 and a half. And, you just got to shop around or buy the extra point. You could probably get minus 125, minus 130, a couple cents. But I love this over. Okay, so let's rock and roll with that this evening. Chicago, Seattle, full game over 41 and a half. Is my free play in the NFL tonight. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, let me take a quick commercial break. When I get back, we'll talk some more college football games that we have going on. Obviously, this is bowl season. There's a lot going on. And we'll get a little head start to tomorrow's NHL card. All right, this is the Thursday edition. All right, my days are all mixed up. But this is the Thursday holiday edition of Primetime Live with Philly Pete. Sit back, relax, give me two, and I'll be right back.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right. At 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking that quick 2-minute commercial break with me. This is the Thursday edition, holiday edition of Primetime Live with Philly Pete. I am your host, the one, the only Philly Pete, and we're here live on YouTube and, of course, the 24/7 12 Ounce Sports streaming platform. Come on in, check us out. Let's rock and roll. Make sure you subscribe to 12 Ounce Sports. Give us a thumbs up. And, hey, chat is open. All right, we might not have hockey tonight. We don't have hockey tonight. We get back on the ice tomorrow, okay? But not too early to talk some pucks. We got some bowl games going off. We have a game tonight. And, if you're a live bettor, we have Rutgers and Kansas State going off right now as we speak, all right? So those that missed out on the first half of the show, talked a lot about, headlines of what's been going on between, Michael Vick getting a job and Deshaun Jackson now getting a job in the college world of head coaching. And on top of that, I have a free play tonight in the NFL. I do like Seattle to cover tonight. It's an important game for the Seahawks. But my favorite play tonight is going to be the full game over 41.5 points. I'm going to lay a full unit on that. That's the Seattle Seahawks, Chicago Bears, full game over 41.5 points. The last 4 games for Seattle have gone over the total at that 42 mark, 42.5 mark. It's been easily cleared. So let's rock and roll. Let's get that tonight. And let's cash out a hopeful easy winner. So we'll see what happens. Nothing too exciting in the NFL wise, but fantasy football championships. This is the weekend. This is the last weekend. So let's see how you guys make out. Simple as that. Now, who's in the championship? Who's in? You guys in? Hopefully you guys win big. And let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll. Before you guys make some bets tonight, make sure you be smart and obviously, bet with your head and, bet what you can afford. Really. You can't be going crazy. It's a holiday season. You can't be going bankrupt and calling your wife saying, hey, I have no more money in my account because I blew it all gambling. Not a good look. But tonight, when you do, and if you, afford what you can do, afford what you can bet Bet we can afford. Excuse me. But go to mybookie.ag. It's a great book. Use the promo code 12ounce sports 12OZ sports. They'll match your first deposit to $1,000. That's mybookie.ag. Promo code 12ounce sports. They also stream live games as well. So you can watch the game on the courtesy of your own home by the fireplace with a little adult beverage, if you know what I'm talking about. And, you could live bet this Kansas State Rutgers game. Really, I had the Rutgers +7. It's a little personal play of mine, so we'll see how that shakes out. But, use my bookie. If you can't find a game that's televised in your area, my bookie will show it for you. Short and sweet. Also, make sure you check out the YouTube 12-ounce sports betting subscription that we have going on now. All right, you subscribe via YouTube. All right, and it's $6 for the month and $60 for the year. 3 days for free on top of that when you first sign up. All right, you get the cream of the crop, NWO style cappers, as well, part of our network. Great guys. Gamble guy, he's been red hot, all year. We've been on this platform. We're just getting started on this platform, really. And then, of course, you have Greg from Sports Stance giving out daily fantasy lineups. They've been red hot, So, and then, of course, you have me. We're on there as well. Cheap services, transparency, consistency is the name of the game. So sign up today, $6 for the month, $60 for the year. It's cheaper than your grande coffee at Starbucks. Short and sweet there. All right. So without further ado, let's go to the NHL. All right, and see what we have for tomorrow. We have a couple good, interesting, little interesting matchups tomorrow. I kind of wish games were in the afternoon, all right, like some brunch, like while at work sort of feel. But we don't have that. We have 8 games tomorrow. Okay, let's start off. A little bit of a rapid fire. We'll go more in depth about it tomorrow. Okay, since most of the second half of the show tomorrow will be basically just rundowns of each game. We have Toronto and Detroit. Okay, we're in Motor City. Toronto's opening up at -155 and Detroit's +135. Over/under set at 6 at -110. You could probably grab 5.5 at -130, -135. Toronto puck line is showing +170 at -1.5. Detroit -190 to cover that puck and a half. Or that puck +1.5, excuse me. 60% of the public money riding on Toronto, okay, on that money line, and it's split between the over-under at 6. All right. Now, the under is 35, 29, and 5. So slight lean to the under, a little original 6 matchup here. And it's in Detroit. So we'll see what happens here. It truly just depends. You've been on break for a couple days, a little bit of rust possibly, getting back to the grind of playing. Toronto had to travel a little bit. This could be a dog sort of night. Really, this could be a dog sort of night, but we will see what happens tomorrow. So a little look ahead there. So, yeah, the under is 35, 29, and 5. So very intrigued to see that. Very, very much. So we'll see. I'll get more in depth tomorrow, obviously, when I have my, when we have this show again, and I could talk more analysis of what I like. Boston, Columbus, same thing. Boston -165 on the money line. Columbus +140. Okay, over/under set at 6 at -110. Once again, you could probably get the 5.5 around -140, -135. 70% of the public money riding the Boston Bruins money line, and it looks like split 50-50 on the over and under. Now, the over between these two combined is 39, 29, and 2. 40, 29, and 2 between these two teams with the over. Mainly because of Columbus, they've been giving up a lot of goals, and they can score. They can. Can I see this being over? Absolutely. I absolutely could see this. 40, 29, and 2 to the over between these two teams. So the over could be a good look for tomorrow. And maybe even consider, Boston on the puck line at +160. Something to think about. But it's crazy to think because Toronto shows around +165 to +170, and they're only -150. Boston nearly -170, but getting a +160 on the puck line. So, it's a little interesting to see that they're, the Toronto money line to Boston with the puck line is kind of like identical in a way. But we'll see we really will see what happens though. So, time will tell. We'll look at that tomorrow. Carolina, New Jersey. This should be a fun game tomorrow. New Jersey -120 on the money line. Carolina +110 as a road dog. Excuse me. First look at this. I like Carolina here on the money line at +110. Now, don't get me wrong. 65% of the public money is on the Devils. 60% of the public money riding the under 5.5, which is at plus 105. So it really just depends. This could be a defensive game here. We could see probably a 3-2 sort of game. But the under at 5.5 at plus money, that's not bad. That's not a bad look. I kind of like that. But we'll see. Like I said, we'll see what happens tomorrow. But there you go. Like solid, interesting lines here. Now the under between these two teams, 41-25 and 5. 41-25 and 5 to the under for these two teams. So that's substantial. That's pretty big. So the under could be a good look for tomorrow in this game. Chicago, Buffalo. All right, Buffalo minus 180, wild. Chicago plus 160 on the money line. Over-under set at 6 at even money at plus 100. 5.5 you can get at minus 130. Between minus 125, minus 130. Over-under, they're both the same. 31, 31, and 8 in terms of the over-under. So it's about even. Buffalo is getting 70% of the public money, and the over is at 60%. All right, now it truly depends what we're going to see. That Chicago Wild game the other day, it was hot. It was a red hot start, and I'm hoping we can get the same out of this. The 5.5 might be a good spot in this game here tonight or tomorrow. Again, rust, you never know. The skating itself, it could be interesting. Heavy legs. You haven't played in a couple days. Maybe still full from the holiday ham that you had, or whatever you ate, but. We will see what happens there. Minnesota, Dallas. Dallas minus 165. Minnesota plus 150. Over-under at 5.5. Dead even. 75% of the public money on the Dallas Stars. 55% of the public money on that under 5.5 at plus 105. Now, the under between these two teams, 37, 26, and 5 to the under. That is 37, 26, and 5 to the under. So, again, under. A good look between these two teams. I'm telling you. It could be a good spot. It really can be. And you're giving me plus money. I might give that a chance here. Defense, man. Could be a very defensive game as well there in Dallas. Nashville, St. Louis. Very interesting game here. All right. St. Louis plus 115 at home. Nashville minus 130 is a little bit of a road favorite, I should say. Excuse me. 60% of the public money on St. Louis. Over-runners at 5.5 at plus 100. All right. The under between these two teams, 45, 24, and 3. That is insane. 44, 24, and 3. I don't know how I got the number, but yeah, the under is 44, 24, and 3 to the under. So the under at even money at minus 110, sign me up. That's probably going to be a play for me tomorrow. I mean, you can't move away from that trend. The under is heavily, heavily favored between these two teams here. So that's what I'm leaning on. So Nashville, St. Louis, look for an under 5.5 in this game. I expect to see a very low scoring game in that one down in St. Louis. Colorado, Utah. All right, Colorado minus 140 in the money line. Utah plus 125. Over-under set at 6 at minus 125. 6.5 you can grab at plus 105. All right. The over-under, all right, the under is 33, 31, and 6 between these two teams. 70% of the public money on Colorado, and it looks like 55% of the public money on the under. Now, again, same thing. The under 6.5 you can get at minus 115. That's not terrible. That is not terrible. Not sure what kind of team's going to come out from Utah. Can they score? Can Colorado score? Could this be a 3-2 game? Very interesting that we see a 6.5 spot between these two. 6.5 might be a good lean to the under. But again, tomorrow I'll be more definitive on what I like in this game for sure. Early lean is going to be on Colorado, but we will see what happens there for sure. And last but not least, Vegas, San Jose. Vegas minus 235 on the money line. San Jose plus 200. Over under here, set at 6.5. 75% of the public money on Vegas. 55% of the public money on the under. A lot of unders that are being bet right now through the public. It looks like a lot of the unders are basically favored. I like the under 6.5 in this game. I do. I'm minus 120. Not really sure what we're going to get out of, Vegas away. I mean, could this be a letdown spot? Could it be a plus 205 winner for San Jose? But 6.5, I feel like seems a lot for these two teams as well. So we'll see what happens. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of time. I hope you had fun. Tomorrow I'll be back. Same time, same place. Tonight's free play, like I said, is going to be the Chicago Bears, Seattle Seahawks, full game over 41.5. Let's cash out, and I will talk to you guys again tomorrow. Good night.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available.